Hey folks, good afternoon. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. Learn more about priority checking by visiting one of their offices in Monroe, West Monroe, Ruston, or across Ashley County. Thanks so much for joining us. I have no idea why I started on this graphic. That's like halfway through this entire forecast. It's a little sneak peek, little tease, if you will. We'll get to that in just a minute. And for those that have checked the morning stream, that were on the morning stream this morning, you know that the graphic that I just showed you is actually lower in rain totals over the next 7 days versus higher. So again, the forecast continues to change. That's what weather forecasts do. And I'm simply just bringing you the latest updates. As those change, I feel that it's important for you to be able to follow along as you please with the latest information. Visible satellite shows that we are still contending with quite a bit of cloud cover across the area, and it reflects in temperatures across the area as well. A look at the radar, even some spotty returns across the upper Texas coastline. Every shingle radar product made possible by Brown's Roofing. You can schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. Also, the cold weather clothing drive is underway, has about a week and a half or so left. So again, you can go to their Facebook page for the latest information on drop-off locations, and also you could schedule a pickup if you so need it. Temperatures across the area, 70s and 80s for the most part across the deep south. As you move into the Arklamis region, again, cloud cover does have a strong bearing on where we're landing. Some spots are in the mid-70s, some are in the low 80s, already 82 in Camden, 80 in Monroe, 76 in Ruston, 77 in Vicksburg. Dew points are up there, mid to upper 60s, pretty gross, and very soupy across much of the Arklamis region. I'm looking out over the monitors to our backyard just so I could see if we're seeing any sunshine. That has not been the case so far today. Winds are back out of the southwest, and we set the stage for what should be overall a fairly quiet stretch of an afternoon into the nighttime hours tonight. We do have some question marks regarding the overall forecast as we start to head into the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow. Sorry, I'm looking at a little bit of a hiccup in the graphics, but I'm going to fix it. But generally speaking, we continue to run into concerns regarding, and I'm going to kind of rock this into motion so I can control where we go with the forecast. But we're running into some issues in terms of the scattered nature of the rainfall as we go into the day on Friday and what that really means in terms of the forecast. So, like I said, I wanted to kind of control how we roll through this this model sequence, if you will. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe shows that we could maybe catch a few storms overnight tonight and during the morning hours tomorrow. Overall, I would think the severe weather threat is pretty low, but with the stationary boundary providing kind of a focal point as these upper disturbances move through, I really think the rain chances return tonight in some locations, and then they set up isolated to scattered through the day tomorrow. Best chances will probably be during the morning, and then again, perhaps with the warm, humid environment, maybe some scattered stuff tomorrow afternoon. Not really sold on it, especially as you get south of I-20, but there will be some kind of residual rain chances that linger through the day on Thursday. Most of it, again, isolated to scattered. Setting up for a mess, though, to the west. If you have travel plans along the I-35 corridor as we go through the weekend, especially starting Thursday and into Friday, but even Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going to get the heftiest rain totals over the next 5 to 7 days. But as you put things into motion beyond that, some scattered storm potential possible late Thursday night, and then as we go into Friday morning, a lot of the models are suggesting that along this prefrontal trough, we could still see some scattered stuff. That probably is a better likelihood as we go into the day on Friday. I think there's at least an attendant isolated severe weather threat during this stretch. Not a significant severe weather threat, not an outbreak, nothing like that. But the strongest of storms that pop up maybe could become severe. Shouldn't be surprised with it. And that's also this time of year, and really anytime we get a thunderstorm in our area, you shouldn't be surprised if it becomes severe. Because if we have thunderstorms, then we probably have at least some sort of outside chance of those storms becoming strong. lingering stuff into early Saturday, and that's one part of the forecast that has kind of turned on its head a smidge. I haven't been able to completely wipe out the rain chances for the weekend. I had them down to 0 for Saturday, but with this boundary kind of stalled across much of the lower Mississippi Valley, it sets us up for a lot of areas to at least see some spotty stuff through the upcoming weekend. So be aware of that. Here's a look at the rainfall forecast totals over the next 3 days. Most of it scattered, so obviously scattered rain chances will yield scattered rain totals, and most of us will see very lackluster rainfall. I know that we need rain. Hey, there's the sunshine. I was waiting for it. It's been a while. So sun finally peeking through in portions of Monroe after what has been a cloudy start to the day. I know we need the rainfall, and we would prefer it sooner rather than later, but it looks like most of the rain is returning later rather than sooner. So as you go through the upcoming weekend, next 3 days, some spotty rain. Obviously, scattered storms will drive some higher totals, but those are really difficult to forecast. Over the next 5 days, you see the rainfall forecast kind of beef up a little bit, especially as we could see those showers and a few thunderstorms linger through the weekend. Most of that is very isolated, but obviously any rain that you run into during that stretch would add to those totals. And then by Monday into Tuesday, we have that next storm system that moves through the region. So the next 7 days, and I showed you this rainfall forecast this morning, and it had 3 and 4 inch rain totals to the west. Now those rain totals more 2 to 3 inches. And I know you're thinking, why does the forecast change? That's what forecasts do. Every 6 to 12 hours, we get new data in. We look at it, humans build the forecast, and they deliver it to you. That's what forecasts are designed to do. Simply put. So as we get better ideas of what's going on, the overall process is not to be first; it's to be right. In meteorology, you can be one or the other. You can be first with information, or you can be correct with information. But very seldom can you be both. And again, the whole point of a forecast is to constantly update it to make it so that as the weather is happening, the forecast ahead of time is as accurate as possible. The flash flood risk, the excessive rain outlook, and I show this also because it does include parts of our area, but more importantly, if you have travel plans along the I-30 corridor into western Arkansas or through the Ozarks, is Arkansas playing in Fayetteville this weekend? Are they playing at all this weekend? Arkansas Razorback. Yeah, I'm just dropping right in the middle of the live stream to check this. Yeah, they're playing. It's the Battle Line game, I think, this week. No, they're playing Texas this weekend in Austin. Ooh. Ugh. All right. Well, that's not necessarily great, but anyway, they're not going to be in Fayetteville, so it doesn't really matter. I was going to say, if you're heading to West Arkansas or Northwest Arkansas for the Arkansas game this weekend, be prepared for that, but they're not playing in Fayetteville, so it doesn't matter. Again, if you have travel plans along the I-30 corridor, periods of heavy rainfall tomorrow through the upcoming weekend will be a possibility. We do obviously get some breaks in those the heaviest rainfall, but I would expect the heaviest rain axes to set up across western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, and North Texas, even as we go into the early parts of next week. We're going to see rain, and we could see some pretty heavy rainfall Monday, Tuesday of next week. But again, details are sketchy, and the most widespread of it still looks to be to our west. Flash flood and severe weather risks are made possible by Allegiance Health Network, providing high-quality, patient-centered care through a clinically integrated network of healthcare professionals. Here's a look at the severe weather threat for tomorrow. I show it simply because I wanted to show you that we don't have one. There is maybe an isolated strong to severe storm possible tomorrow across the Ark-La-Tex region, and then the severe weather threat for Friday. Again, there's not one. Could change. If a marginal risk pops up, we'll let you know about it. Hazards for Friday, mainly, Randy, I'm going to be honest with you, as Randy joins us on X, by the way. There's going to be a lot of areas that don't see rain at all on Friday. It's a lot of scattered stuff. Any storm that develops has the potential of becoming severe, and any severe storm would have probably all hazards possible. Hail, wind, tornadoes, they would all be possible in a very isolated form. The general thought process, again, is that there's a good chunk of the area that stays dry Thursday and Friday. So just be aware of that. I really want folks to be aware of the fact that The rainfall forecast for Thursday and Friday is very conditional, and it's very scattered. Not everyone's going to see it. Near record highs today, low to mid-80s, partly cloudy, winds out of the south. Mid-60s tonight, mid-50s. We won't see that for a while. Could see it next week. More on that in just a minute. Clouds will pick up tonight. Warm, muggy, some patchy fog will be a possibility as well, along and south of I-20 generally. The farther south you go, the better chance you have of fog development overnight. 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware shows the scattered storm potential for Friday. Again, special emphasis is on the scattered. I've thrown the small rain chances back in for Saturday and Sunday. Full disclosure, there's a lot of other outlets, including the National Weather Service, whose rain chances are higher for Saturday and Sunday, and I'm not trying to call out the Weather Service for any stretch. I work very closely with those guys, and they're awesome. I just kind of trimmed ours down for our area. Good chance I'm wrong, but I really think that the vast majority of our area is going to be hard-pressed to develop a lot of rain Saturday and Sunday. That said, the front will be stalled and kind of draped across the region, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Like I said, those rain chances have gone up a tad versus where I had them yesterday. Unsettled early next week. Could there be severe weather threats? Possibly. Could there be heavy rain threats? Possibly. Mainly late Monday, early Tuesday, but not a lot of certainty and all that stuff, so we're not going to, I don't want to freak people out if there's no need to freak people out. Not that we're ever trying to freak you out, but you know what I mean. Folks get anxious when there's storms that move through, and so I don't want to throw out that scenario until we have a higher confidence that it's a possibility. We do need the rain, Claudia. It's on its way. Not everyone's going to see it tomorrow. Most of us probably won't see a good bit of it on Friday, but the pattern is starting to change. If you want to follow the craziness on social media, everybody's talking now about stratospheric warming, the sudden stratospheric warming event, and cold air and the polar vortex. That's going to be the next stuff that you hear all about. I think we trend cooler for Thanksgiving. Right now I have highs in the 50s on Thanksgiving Day. Nothing dramatic, nothing record-setting, but trending cooler. And we'll tackle the details when we get there. But, again, a lot of folks just don't care to hear about all the super nerdy weather stuff. And I like to kind of keep our feet planted firmly in the reality of the 3 to 5 to 7 days ahead of us, so we don't get too ahead of ourselves. If we start talking about something that's 2 weeks ahead of time, then what are we going to talk about when it gets closer? You're going to get sick of it by then. I'm already sick of talking about tomorrow's rain chances, and they may not even happen. We've been talking about it for a week. Anyway, hopping off the soapbox again, fishing game forecast is at 8 tonight. I'll join you later this afternoon with another live look at the forecast, and we await the rain chances with our fingers crossed. Hello, Jan. Thanks so much for hopping in. And, of course, the forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. Just got a refresh to that forecast here in the last 30 minutes or so. Go take a look at it. Let me know what you think. If you have a big opinion on the forecast, and we'll join you later today. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you in a few hours.